Okay, so here we go. All right, so essentially, what I've done is I've created one project that's going to last the entire trimester, and then you'll have weekly assignments that are largely just kind of like current events. So there we go. Here's how this whole thing kicks off, and it's going to be kind of the project that sort of guides us this trimester. It's called the Book of Songs. Um, it's a it's a relatively simple project if you let it be relatively simple. It is essentially attaching the way you feel about the zeitgeist. Zeitgeist means the spirit of the age, kind of like the world around you. How you feel about that with how you feel about a song. It's attaching an abstract idea to another abstract idea. How you feel about this time period versus how a song makes you feel, and you're drawing those connections. So it is a book of songs that represents the time period. All right. For this particular assignment, I don't really care about the music that you choose. It's your project, it's your website, so you do whatever you want. I mean, if you're listening to music as a senior in high school that's going to get you in trouble with your parents, then I mean, I guess that's on you. All right, so here we go. So your book of songs, you're going to have 10 pages of analysis, 10 songs attached to different ideas that you're going to analyze through this assignment. So for each assignment that I give each week, you have one song that represents the idea, and then a rationale or analysis that you must write with it. So for each song, well, let's just go down to the bottom here. So there are 10 weeks in the year, right, or in the trimester, and you have 10 topics that you have to cover through your work in this assignment. So the first 2 weeks are a personal moment that defines who you are. So what have you experienced over your 17 or 18 years that have made you the person that you say you are? That's going to be the first moment that you analyze. You're going to find a song that represents that. How you feel about that moment and how you feel in the song. Please note, it is not, it's feeling. So it's an abstract idea. So oh God, I don't know. If your moment that defined you was, I'm trying to think something positive, but positive isn't where I live. Um, okay, let's say the first moment was the first time you drove a car, and now you want to be some kind of mechanic or something. I don't know. You have to write about that moment and how that moment makes you feel. And then you find a song that makes you feel the same way. You're not finding a song where the title is about a car. That's not an abstract idea, it's a concrete idea. How the song makes you feel and how the moment makes you feel. Those two things have to be the same. You need to find a song that represents that. Again, abstract, not concrete. Okay. So, this week, what we're all going to be writing on is a personal moment that defines who you are. 17 or 18 years, what is the moment that has made you the person that you say you are? Find a song that represents that. Week 2 is a personal moment that defines your high school experience. When you look back and think about high school, what will be the moment that defines your entire experience, and find a song that represents that. Then you have 8 other topics that you choose from over the next, 10 weeks. So given that I left, I honestly think that most of your writing is going to be on this pandemic, as it has blown a hole in your senior year, and you guys don't get to experience graduation in a typical fashion, which is like devastating, I would imagine. So, I mean, I left the topic sort of broad, but I imagine most of them are going to be about the pandemic. So, you're going to choose 8 of the 12 topics to write about for the next 8 weeks: politics, pop culture, the American dream, gender, race, class economy, the environment, domestic conflict, that is a conflict going on inside the United States, education, international conflict, right? The future, and your generation. So you're going to choose 8 of those topics. You're going to think about how you feel about them, and then you're going to find a song that represents that. So when you've done that work for each one of those topics, you have to we're going to create websites because why not? I'll create another video showing you how to make a website if you've never made a website, but it's as easy as a Google Doc. So it's an easy way to keep everything together. You can't embed videos on a Google Doc. Otherwise, I would say do it on a Google Doc, but you can't embed videos on a Google Doc. So for each one of these topics, you're going to need to find a song that represents it. Then you're going to need to pull out a lyric from the song. Because reminder that you are talking about how the song makes you feel and how you feel about the topic. So the title of the song shouldn't have any, like, you should have to do some thinking to unpack why you feel a certain way. So for this one, what song did I do for this one? That looks like, what, Lupe Fiasco? That looks like Lupe Fiasco. All right, so you have an embedded video of the song. Then underneath that, you have a pulled out framed excerpt of the lyrics of the song. Some of us are not adept at like actually listening to the words that the songs go with. So this should be a new, more interesting way to listen to music for some of us, because some of the music you guys listen to is total trash. They never say anything. But no, I stand by that. I'm not going to apologize for that one. All right, so you find the video. You find the lyrics, pull out the lyrics in the song that represent how you feel. Then for each song, it needs to be accompanied with a rationale. So you have to explain why the song represents the moment, or why the song represents the topic, which means you have to explain your understanding of the topic and your understanding of the song. That is the rationale. To understand some of these things, like how you feel about politics, how you feel about pop culture, you need actual research. Like, you have to not only know how you feel, but you have to find actual reasons for why you feel that way. So you have to do some additional research. So, like, what did I do as an example here? So, your rationale must include abstract connection between the song and the category of analysis. In order to do this, you'll need to use concrete details about the research category to explain the way or the song, how the song makes you feel, using actual statistics and a wealth gap. So like for this one, I chose the wealth gap. African Americans with a college degree had a median wealth in 2016 less than whites with only a high school diploma. So that is an actual statistics that speaks to my understanding of the wealth gap. So I connected that to the songs in Lupe Fiasco's Words Never Said. So for each one of these categories, you have to actually look stuff up, which is difficult because for some of these topics, you feel a certain way and you actually don't know why. How you feel about politics probably is largely emotional and is not actually based on reason. For this assignment, you're going to have to base these things on reason. So find out how you think about how you feel about a topic, then find research that supports how you feel. Fair enough? Pretty easy stuff for seniors in high school here. I did break it up over the 10 weeks. So, I mean, if I launched it all at once, this is, it's a 12-page paper with a bunch of videos. So we're just going to go one a week. Our first week is personal moment that defines who you are. So for that one, you're going to need to think of your 17 or 18 years. Find a moment that you think makes you the person that you are. Think of a song that represents how you feel about that moment. For the write-up, you have to, you're going to have to write up and describe that moment, and then you're going to have to explain why that song represents that moment. Each one of these rationales should be in that 2 to 3 paragraph model, something like a page of writing. All right. Pretty simple stuff here, gang. I guess that's it for the first video.